when I was on the wrong career path. There were signs, and like the gut feeling and instinct, that's life telling you that you are on the wrong path, and it's trying to steer you. Like it's like a little like tap on your head or hey, but if you don't listen to that voice, it will get louder and bigger until something really big happens and you have to learn the lesson, usually the hard way.
On today's episode of Indigo Living on the Couch series, in partnership with Lita Perfumes, I get to interview my friend Camilla. She is the owner of the Snack Society. Now, this came about because I can't live without her treats. They're her energy balls. Now, imagine a life without sugar. Well, that is the way forward. It was so hard for me to give it up. And so I sat with my friend Camilla, and she helped me kind of get through that hurdle of those ups and downs of sugar withdrawal. And this is my new addiction. It's her energy balls. Let me introduce you to the queen of healthy living. Welcome to our set.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, we always talk offline, and I just thought you were so inspirational to me. You've changed
thank you.
the way I eat, and I realized I am a snacker, so it's no surprise that...
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd rather like snack throughout the day than have one big meal.
I just realized I am a snacker, and I was always reaching out for that quick fix of a chocolate or a sugary drink, a soft drink. And then I was introduced to these. Now, these have changed my life. You'll find them in my car, my office, in the kitchen. There's no sugar in them. How did you come up with this recipe?
I've suffered from digestive issues all my life, and it wasn't until 2016 when I lost my corporate job. I was in the corporate world, advertising, marketing. Maybe it's the universe's way of telling me you need to follow your passion. So I've had all sorts of problems. I've stayed away from gluten and dairy and eggs. So I've always been making these treats at home for myself. And I just started an Instagram account and social media, and I started posting recipes, and then people were like, can I buy them from you? Are they for sale? I'm like, oh, well, it started from home, and I did it from home for 2 years, and then I found a manufacturer who would make them for me. We got them branded, we got the nutritional values, and now they're stocked in a lot of cafes, and I sell them online as well.
But I wanted to talk about this whole idea of gluten-free, paleo, vegan. How did you come up with recipes that are satisfying to so many different groups of healthcare seekers?
I think when you first introduce the idea of you have to go gluten-free, dairy, it's quite scary because that's not what we're used to. But there's so many options. Like sugar can easily be replaced by dates, maple syrup, honey, and so on. Dates still have sugar content, it's just more nutritious for you. So that's your sugar replacement. Flour can be replaced with coconut flour, almond flour. There's so many alternatives now. And when I first started doing it, I had to chuck away so many recipes. Like I didn't get it right, but it takes time. I started with the raw stuff, the stuff that doesn't need to be cooked, and you just put it in the fridge. And then from there, I just I started into going into baking and cake, which is a bit more challenging, but yeah, it's not rocket science.
What would you say your best seller is?
Well, I'm selling the energy balls at the moment now, but I do have a blog element. I think, breakfast items do really well because I know vegans struggle with breakfast options because you can't eat eggs. But there's so many different things you can do, like, tofu scramble, like make scramble, you emulate scrambled eggs, but with tofu and granola. And there's so many different ways that, you can whip up a really good breakfast that doesn't have to include things that you're allergic to.
Parents want to know great, easy, healthy recipes to feed their kids after school, that ultimate after school snack. What are 3 recipes that you can share with us?
Banana popsicles are easy, simple. You just peel a banana, you cut it into half, you stick in a popsicle stick in the middle, freeze them, dip it in melted chocolate, and you just roll it into nuts. You can do this with your kids, and you just freeze it for a little bit, and they can have it. It's fun, it's healthy, it's nutritious, and it's delicious. I love it.
I need to try that, actually.
Yeah.
What are 2 other recipes that you can recommend?
Another one of my favorite would be homemade granola. I love granola with yogurt, with milk, or just on its own. So I like to make mine. I use jumbo oats and put all kinds of nuts in there and superfoods like sunflower seeds and chia seeds and flax seeds. And you know, you can bind them with maple syrup and coconut oil and chuck it in the oven and allow it to like roast, and your entire house and kitchen smells so amazing when you're baking it. And I just put it in a jar and you can just have it, you know, it's a really good breakfast idea. Another one would be pancakes. So they're not your staple fluffy pancakes, but it's a simple 4-ingredient. You just need banana, oats, a sweetener, and almond milk. You just, you know, mix it up in a blender, and you cook it like regular pancakes. And
oh, really?
Yeah, it's really like delicious.
And what would the sweetener be?
Yeah, I like to use maple syrup, but you can use honey, maple syrup, agave syrup, like whatever works.
Now, before you go, for Indigo Living, our motto is to live beautifully. What does it mean to you?
When I was younger, I thought living beautifully was just the exterior, like physical looks. As you know, as I got older and you know, life happened, I think living beautifully is just being really authentic and real with yourself and you know, your loved ones around you. And I think that you know, being true to yourself is living beautifully.
So we've partnered up with Luta Perfumes, and they are all about supporting women in business. So they are spoiling you with this gift set.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm sure you've smelt their beautiful fragrances.
I have. I can't wait to try it.
So one of the questions I want to ask you is, what is your piece of advice that you can share with our viewers?
Listen to your inner voice. When I was on the wrong career path, there were signs, and you know, like the gut feeling and instinct, that's life telling you that you are on the wrong path, and it's trying to steer you. Like it's like a little like tap on your head or hey, but if you don't listen to that voice, it will get louder and bigger until something really big happens, and you have to learn the lesson, usually the hard way, like a lot of us. I think just, you know, pay attention and listen to what life is telling you.
That's amazing, and I love your honesty for that. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I know you've inspired so many people. And thank you to our viewers. Every week you join us, you tune in, you comment, you like our page, and we love hearing from you. Each week we try and select women that are going to share their story and their journey, and we hope that inspires you each week. So thank you for joining us on that journey. Make sure you tune in next week on Indigo Living UAE. See you soon.